I know we've covered a lot of controversial topics in these questions, so
Sure.
I want to end on a hopeful note. This is a response to a question from the Josh Johnson episode about the guy who called in and said he knocked up a woman in France while he was on his vacation.
Yes.
So this is another caller who just wanted to
a different caller.
that.
It's not him. Okay. I was really hoping it'd be the guy, and he's like, psych, she's not pregnant.
He probably still doesn't know what the fuck to do, but here we go.
Hey, Stabby. I guess the reason I was calling is because I listened to last week's episode with Josh Johnson, and there was a caller that called in because he impregnated a woman in France.
Mm-hmm.
I just, for some reason, felt compelled to call in regards to that caller. I guess maybe because I have 2 boys, 2 kids myself. And one piece of advice that I absolutely feel like I needed to tell this man was, if nothing else, maybe he never is a part of this child's life, but absolutely, I highly recommend try to be there for the birth of that child. You might be questioning what to do for the rest of this child's life and, paying child support and whatever, but everything will make sense. I guarantee it. You are given a gift here.
What?
Everything will make sense when you see that child born. It is a gift.
Wrong.
As a man who watched
this guy
the birth
about?
of 2 little people,
Yeah, because you're in love with
I
your
would
wife.
say definitely be there for that.
So he's gonna watch some lady he fucking
Everything will
fucked
make
once.
sense.
That would be a
You
confusing,
can-
awful experience for everybody. It's like you
It's
don't want
fucking horrible
you know when
advice.
you're like not supposed to be somewhere, like you
Yeah.
should, like
yes.
you're like, I'm trying to think of a good situation.
You
where
get to
you're
a
like,
party too early, and it's just and you don't really know the guy.
Or like you find out people are hanging out, and you're like, oh, they're like, oh yeah, you can come too, and you're like, oh, you got this was like planned, and I was definitely not invited.
Yeah.
Oh man, I shouldn't be. And you like try to get out, but then you don't want to make it weirder.
Totally.
It's like it's kind of that's what it feels
Of course.
like.
Yeah, I mean, this is maybe the worst advice I've ever heard in my life. Is he's like, even if you're not around for the kid's life, be there for the birth.
Show up
What?
Find out where the baby's being born.
He doesn't know
Surprise
this.
the lady.
Yeah, it's a
Show
one
up
night
out of
stand.
nowhere.
Like it was a magical moment for you because it's about you and your wife, or the girl. Like he says, he's had 2 kids, right? Like it's not about
You're starting a family together, and it's like
it's
just
a
lot.
beautiful symbolic moment. I would guess. I mean, you've experienced it. Like I also know guys who are like straight up like, I don't feel the connect. Like moms,
You don't feel the connection until like a year and a half. Sometimes,
Yeah, like it takes.
There are moments where you feel it, but it's like when they're born, it's like it's kind of not.
It's not as a dude. It's like even my brother who wanted a kid more than anything. He was like, obviously I loved it and I was happy, but it was like at first it's just a crying
You're like,
little
is it okay?
lump that
Like,
doesn't look like anything. That's fucking destroys your sleep. That just
it's like,
just caused insane pain to the person you love the most.
Yeah,
right. Just fucked your wife up.
Yeah,
and like. And it takes a couple months once they start like kind of smiling a little bit. First they can't see shit. Like this is not what this guy needs to do at all. This is maybe the worst advice I've ever heard in my life.
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure he impregnated this woman. Recently? Like, if she didn't want to have the baby, she probably could have.
Yeah, she could have figured something out.
She could have taken a pill. Afterwards, she could have figured it out. I mean, it's up to her to have the baby if she wants to.
Totally.
And if she hasn't been in touch, then she probably doesn't want him around.
Well, I think she has. The call was basically like, she did hit this guy up. And he's like, what the fuck do I do? He's like, do I move to... And it's like, look, either way, like we gave this guy advice already. And this guy's giving completely different advice that is truly, truly horrendous advice.
Yeah.
That like...
That's not
I would
way to start a life with somebody.
No.
You don't want to...
Like, listen, if this guy ended up moving to France, if he ended up staying in contact with her, that's one thing. But like, he's like, I have a hard time because this guy started being like, look, even if you're not in the kid's life, go to the birth. That's insane.
That's insane.
Because first of all, it's way more important to support this woman and the kid financially,
like send some money every now and then if you can.
Then to attend to that's the most symbolic bullshit I've ever heard in my fucking life. That's not how the world works at all.
Can you imagine being that guy and being like telling that story, like me being like, yeah, so I impregnated this woman in France, and then I was like, no, I'm not going to be in their lives, but I went back for the birth.
But I went back for the birth. It was like so magical,
amazing, and now I like totally I have no
and
communication.
I get like life and like everything, and I mean, I've never seen her. I mean, also it's so funny because it's like this is a guy who hooked up with this woman once. Like if they didn't tell him, like I don't even know if he'd be able to find the fucking room. Like he'd peek in and be like, I think that's the girl I fucked. Like he wasn't even.
I think. Are you the girl that I fucked?
She's not wearing makeup. She looks kind of fat and busted right now. Yeah. Like he would not. It's just this. That's hilarious advice to give this guy. I mean, it just couldn't be more wrong in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because like the act of the birth is not that. It's like people really love symbolism, and it's like sometimes it's just a fucking weird, fucked up. Were you there? I mean, you were in the room. Yeah.
I mean, it was powerful, but there was a lot of intense stuff going on. Like this, like we had this music playing, and a song came on that was like oddly serendipitous.
Master of Puppets.
Absolutely.
Master!
It's happening! Everything aligned. You know, because we were like, we're the puppet masters.
We're the puppet masters. It's our little puppet.
You know, it's like you're all connected.
Yeah.
We saw God for the first time.
Of course.
But like, he put him on a little table, and he's like,
yeah.
And then like, you know, it's just a lot. And then they kind of like they're wrapping stuff up, and they're cleaning the floor, and they're like, you got an hour until we move you to the next ward, and like try to eat some food. It's just like you're exhausted. It's not.
Yeah, it seems way more. I mean, giving birth is still really dangerous. Like
very dangerous,
for a person, and it's like even in like it seems so much more about getting through it healthy. Yeah, like making sure the kids are right, making sure it's like
let her have that moment with her baby. Like if she's keeping, you know,
you might not
like,
be in their life.
She doesn't want you there.
Yeah,
if you're not helping out, she doesn't want you to be a part of this moment.
You know what it's like? It's like at a wedding when like the youngest sibling in a family brings their shitty boyfriend that they're gonna break up with in 2 months. Yeah. And he's in all the fucking pictures.
Yeah.
And it's like
they're a part of this.
Yeah. Like he didn't wear a real suit. He's wearing like a fucking, you know, like a skinny tie and like a shitty jacket.
Just ruining every memory. Like, I love her.
Yeah. That's like what it would be like if you abandoned these people but were at the birth. Yeah. You would be like, God, that was fucking weird.
Yeah, you would ruin it.
So anyway, I really read that differently than you, Eldest. You said it was a hopeful note. I thought it was really, again, you're really off this episode in terms of your instincts have been pretty atrocious.
That's sort of like, I hope. I mean, that sort of misguided morality bums me out more than anything.
Right.
You know, just
don't work hard at it and reconcile these difficult feelings. Yeah. Just be there and it'll all go away.
Yeah.
It's like, no, it won't.
No.
I mean, maybe it will if he's fucking as stupid as you are.
That almost kind of feels like the advice of if your relationship is having problems because you haven't had a baby.
Yeah.
Have a baby. And then have another one. Every time you have problems, have another baby and see that baby. It'll bring you together. Solve your problems. No. That's not how it works.
Oh, fuck. Really, anyway, great stuff, Eldest. On a bang up producing job.
Yeah, fantastic
honestly,
work.
You started off that's the problem. You came out of the gate with Sock Em Boppers in a way that you truly have never been proactive. And then you rested on those laurels. We gave you such a nice compliment on that. That you really pitched you were maybe like 1 in 5 for the calls.
I did my usual thing. I set the bar too high,
you did.
too early on.
Yeah. Really
left myself no margin.
And you coasted. Yeah.
And you did so bad. We even comment on the fact that you somehow fucked up the Twisted T song on the way out. You fucked those buttons up. I could see that.
Oh yeah.
You're struggling button wise recently.
I fucked the loop up. But,
you didn't hear the dog.
You didn't hear the dog. It's been going this whole time. Yeah. That's fine though. We couldn't do anything about it.
But it seems like that's one out of 5. Is that's pretty good for you? Or
is that worse before?
For sure. He's definitely had way worse episodes, both technically and there have been some episodes where I'm like embarrassed to the guest. Where I'm like, we're answering the same shitty question 4 times in a row.
But he's not embarrassed. He's the
No.
last person
That's his greatest strength.
is
is
I
that
can't be.
He can't be embarrassed.
If
No,
I
no.
feel the embarrassment, I'll stop dead in my tracks.
No,
Yeah.
that's the beauty of him. It's like it is just like he's the podcast equivalent of like an ox in the field.
Yeah.
He's just going, he's plowing
Unflappable,
through. It doesn't matter. Yeah, chewing a little cud.
Like that's what you need. That's like to do a podcast. It's a little brain damage.
Exactly.
Plowing through.
Unlike the Simpsons
not getting
episode
rattled.
where Homer was a boxer, it's like I can give you 14 rounds if you
Absolutely.
want.
That is the
Right,
best.
right.
That's the best analogy for your talents as a podcast
True.
producer. You'll
Classic
never
F.
be knocked out. You'll never be good, but you'll never be locked out.
That's impressive. Know your strengths.